go. I'll get this going. You see that we have our characters, and I did enlarge Norlai's picture here to stress that Casimir exists, ? However, Darkwolf is not going to be piloting Casimir any longer. Unless I do something, some super secret tech. However...
You're not taking Norlai away from me again.
For any of you out there that weren't around at the beginning, you are going to get to meet Norlai, who actually is a character that we had very, very early on. And in fact, as far as the characters go, Bright is the oldest, is actually an original starting character. And then we have Mordecai and Norlai, 2 tieflings. Well, maybe. We'll see. And Professor Cypher is... Cypher's the babu of the group, at least as far as character introduction age.
He's the human.
Yep, he's a human.
Was someone talking about Yumis?
Oh, we go crump 'em.
But Norlai's the youngest in character.
That's true. She is a...
Take their stuff. I'll be a war boss within the week. Whoa!
Especially that teeth. Yes, Norlai is in fact a very magical girl. And
Mordecai is a very magical boy.
That's true. And we're actually going to, for all of you out there, again, you're going to see some behind-the-scenes stuff. We might touch on story. I mean, we will touch on some story things. I'm not going to necessarily hook them into the next part of the plot or, drop a time bomb in their laps. Episode 100 was a big honkin' boss fight. It was actually kind of a boss rush, if you think about it. If we come here, and I'll zoom in a bit. We just had a wild battlefield inside this laboratory. There was chaos magic for some reason with the lightning. Of course, there was layer effects. We had 2 bosses here, and that was after the boss fight that came before this. A lot of things going on. We touched on some 3D stuff because 3/4 of our characters can fly without spending, especially any magical juice to do so. Hey, Thontes, no, we're getting going. We're digging into it. I'm giving a bit of a review because this is going to be that just a session to let's catch our breaths. We'll tie up a couple loose ends, story-wise, in character, and then as DMs and players, we're going to sort through a couple things because as the story progressed, as the fight had given clues about things, the players have been given a very interesting opportunity that is going to be backed up by story reasons. But again, if a lot of you haven't played D&D for very long, or in a long form campaign, or maybe you just never had a DM who did this before, or maybe you did, but I just do things differently. The players are going to be given an opportunity to do a couple things, which is going to include semi-random loot generation. On that note, remember, each of you do have an inspiration point. If you had one left over from the last fight, it doesn't stack, so all of you have one. And you can recall that I do allow inspiration on treasure rolls if you choose to spend it there, but you don't have to. Also, don't forget that any of you that have had a birthday get a birthday crit. I don't know if you have, but this is
I never used mine from 2020.
Use it before your birthday then, because then it expires, because you only get one at a time. But
my birthday's in April, so I still have it.
Well, then
I don't
use
know
your
that I used mine.
just
That's not
absolutely
ahead.
put me in a pinch. Use your birthday crit the last play session of March. Get your new one in April, and then double whammy me in the next session. But yes, for all of you out there, I guess it'll be kind of a shopping episode, partially. Not just shopping for items, though. There's going to be something else that the players can shop for. But this is a homebrew rule that I have introduced, that you're my player, it's your birthday, and so you're going to get a free crit like it's your birthday. But you can only get one, so you got to use it before your next one comes around. Dragon's Rise says, looking forward to watching D&D streams again. It's been too long. Well, welcome. This is, tonight is going to be, I'm hoping, now look, my players might get into trouble, because they're my players, and that's what players do. But I'm not expecting trouble. And if you or anyone else who's here, Dragon's Rise, have questions about something, maybe one of them said a reference to something, or in-game, in the lore of the world, please ask. And myself, or maybe even especially the players who more readily interact with this stuff, will be able to.
I interact with the chat pretty often, so.
Boop. And who have been a part of that world. It is homebrew, Armin. In fact, it was a setting that we made in the first year of the channel, and we used our setting creation style. It was a big project. It took a while, and then after that, the workshops continued on, and it continued to be brought up like, hey, you should run a game. Hey, you should run a game, and I did. And we use this content that we made together.
And here we are.
Ready to nap. Hello. Quick hi while working on making work for me. Sending love and beating a retreat in the same sentence. Bye, ready. Hi, ready. Bye, ready. Now we had a couple places here. Now, this was a secret room that the players didn't uncover, but I did reveal to them that there was kind of an alternate path, alternate choice. But ultimately, we started off in a big old tower. It had a lot of interesting clues. They ascended, went through this dark space that had spoken to them. In colored letters, and then they made their way to the the boss fight before the boss fight here, where they ended up having to fight against some friends, and rather thoroughly ended up getting their butts handed to them. But
we died.
But that sent them back, and a couple questions were posited to them to think about before a price was paid to achieve that which they wanted. However, it was a price that none of them had paid themselves, and in so doing, a friend of theirs was presumably the sacrifice or the cost to be paid. Which then sent them into a place that they had never been, which was this lab at the very top of a tower. The tower has played into the lore, and we can answer questions about it as it may rise. And then this electric-fueled finale showdown happened. The players realized that Miss Merkuri, who's this super big, super burning girl here, ended up valuing whatever this contraption was, almost treating it, with affection. Like, not just like, yes, I made this invention, but actual, like, affection. Almost like, you'd show to a pet or a child. And her ex and her and the twins that she had with them ended up coming in and absolutely ruining everything. And this thing blew up.
We helped.
Yeah, yes, you did. And
Late
this
me.
thing just blew up and released who knows how much stored up lightning that had been generated across the whole hellscape of Oiho and beyond into the wastelands and everywhere else. I don't know. I don't think any of you ever really questioned why I continued to say that the lightning streaking across the sky was one direction. I mean, there was occasionally a bolt that would come down, but I always would make sure to say that all the lightning seemed to be going to the same place.
I think we kind of assumed it was being pulled in a direction, or was it at least being drawn to that location by like a lightning rod of some kind?
And how?
Something was serving
That
as a
or it
lightning
was
rod.
emitting from, yeah, it was either being drawn to that location or being emitted from that location.
Yeah.
But
Even though we didn't state it, it was kind of an assumption I think Bill made.
Casimir actually turned question mark on the party, or at least did so, turned into, if anything, a silver dragon. Still a pretty vicious looking one, and was participating in the fight. However, the lightning tanks ruptured, and Miss Merkuri here ended up making one last quite literal stab as Mordecai was trying to get out of here using a teleport spell, and she ended up critting him through the chest with her spear as that had happened, and there was a fade to black, very literally in this sense, and we ended up leaving off here, and the fate of Casimir the Silver Dragon, Bambardalis, Glenn, and Gary, and Miss Merkuri as well, was left behind, because who cares about them when we have 4 players to follow with our mind's eye. Now, before we end up fading back into, and then presumably at some point out of black, did you all, as my players, have any particular questions or things that you wanted to bring up or address?
Not immediately, no.
Yeah, I don't have anything immediately.
Okay. Then we will get into the narration, the story explanation that will lead up to us going through our... Let's talk as players and DM. Before I do that, real quick, Dark Wolf, are you, given the things that I had put forward, besides some details like, I don't know, are you going to get a random potion? Because that's not really going to have an effect on what we're going to be doing. Are you comfortable with Noralai as you've built her?
Mhm.
Okay. Then this is going to be what happens. We have this fade to black. We have a teleportation. And you all are going to find yourselves. Bye, Casimir. You're not here. But this person is. Yeah, I guess that works. She's a little smaller anyway. Okay. You're going to find yourselves here. Noralai, more specifically, is actually manifested in a physical form. She appears as you see her. Unless there was any other changes, like, I don't know, it looks like her horns might have grown a little bit, or are they still the same?
She looks pretty much the same. Her hair might be a little longer, but her outfit is no longer a sailor outfit. She now has a shoulder piece of feathers, as well as her skirt is adorned with feathers.
And she also crackles with electricity, it looks like.
Yes.
Okay. The three of you exist as a consciousness. You can think, you can look, you can hear. In a weird way, you can almost feel. As if you actually had hands or tails or nerve endings or a body or a brain. But
a body.
The most any of you really would appear as is you see almost like little motes of yourselves floating around, just like little sparkles or almost like a little confetti. But you can freely move all around. You could fly, and if it feels like flying, you do. Otherwise, it's just, you think that you want to be above Norali, and you're above Norali. You think you want to be upside down, and you're upside down, even though there's no ceiling or other place. By all looks of things, you have been disintegrated. You've been immolated. You have been demolecularized, although that word might not necessarily exist. So you're here, but you're not. Norali is. Norali, you can effectively sense the presence of these three. And while they don't have a shape or a form that's solid, there is you can almost make eye contact with them because you can feel where they are. You can almost seemingly make out a presence or an outline or a silhouette among the chaos of these little glittery motes in this place. So if you wish to talk with them, you can, and they can talk with you as well. And also, there is a broken spear that is on fire. Well, the broken tip of a spear that's on fire, kind of floating around the mix. At any point in time, even for you, Norali, again, there's not exactly a floor, but in relation to you, it might always be at your feet, even if your feet end up being a little closer to Bright's diagonal corner.
Are we dead?
Are you asking Norali or me?
That's in character. Mark.
Okay.
I just saying that. Yeah.
I sure hope not.
So Norali's here, so that's kind of a vote for yes.
I'm not dead.
But I mean, you say that now, but you carried your bone for like 5,000 miles.
I'm very concerned.
Same.
I have my bones.
Yeah, see, that's kind of my point.
Where have you been?
I was in that machine thingy. I don't know, that one lady,
She took you
yeah.
when we were all dealing with Mr. Halver.
Yeah.
I thought you were dead.
She was dead.
Oh, I mean, well, kinda, I guess, but no, I was here the whole time. I was kind of also there. It's weird,
How long has it
I
been?
know everything that happened. I don't know, but well, I really don't know. Cause like there was all those weird time thingies, like when we went into the Fade Cave, you know, it seemed like a few days, but then we came out and it was only a month. No, it was like 2 months or so, and then we got here, and then I just got really confused when you guys came here, cause like, you were here for a few days. Bright was here for a long time, and I don't really know what happened with her. But I kind of remember most stuff that happened with you, Mordecai.
I'm over here. I'll tell you anything you missed.
I don't think I missed much, really. I was kind of there the whole time. I mean, I wasn't there, but like I know everything that happened.
How's that possible?
Yeah, we're definitely dead.
No, you're not. And also, Bright, what the heck? Why'd you bite my bones? That was weird.
Yeah, well, I thought it would be helpful.
Well, it wasn't. It was weird.
You
Don't put me in.
I'm sorry. Are you sore? Like, physically sore? Because obviously metaphorically sore. But physically?
No, I'm fine.
I mean, yeah, they're good hard bones. They were actually really useful. Thank you for letting us borrow them. But now that you need them back, you can have them back. I mean, except you don't really need them because we're all dead.
We're not dead.
We're not.
Well, no, we'd probably be with that Ouija person or something.
I mean, I don't know, honestly, but...
Well, that's what, Celine kind of believes, and that's probably what happens.
That's probably true.
I mean,
I don't know.
it makes sense. Mordecai got killed while he was casting his teleport, so instead of just dying, he took us all with him to be dead, I guess.
That wasn't my intention. I
blame
intended to
the
get us all out.
professor. He's the one that blew up the whole entire room and freed the archdemon.
What?
You freed the archdemon. She was tied up on the table. We didn't have to let her out.
Didn't know she was going to turn on us. You're going to turn on me? I was looking for something to turn the machines off.
And you didn't think of let's block the lightning or let's put them in suspended animation or no, your first instinct was I'm going to pull the lever that releases the archdemon.
I don't
To
think
be
he
fair,
would
the
have known
boards
that.
in there are very confusing.
But
I've been staring at them for ages, and I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, granted, the labeling could have been better. But even so...
You're going to try and blame me for that, right?
even so, Professor, you tend to act before you think. I mean, the whole race across the desert is kind of case in point.
My only response to that, Mordecai, is that I actually thought to do something. If you had your way, you wouldn't have left your hotel room.
Alright.
So let's not go there, shall we?
You don't need to take a stab at me.
You're taking a stab at me. It seems
I mean,
only fair.
neither of you have knives, so it's hard to stab.
Cypher's several eyes just turned to Noralai. Look, I'm a little late to the party. Who is this?
This
No,
is
I lie in
Norma.
your cipher.
That is me. Although not in my
I was with the
regular
Chroma
regularly
Company first, so
scheduled.
I have seniority.
She's basically like a sister to me.
I see. Makes sense.
That we thought we lost. We did lose.
Yes, I believe the Celine noted that down in her book.
You seem to recall a lot from that book. You must have some kind of eidetic memory. I only
Or
let
it
you
could
read
be.
it once.
It could also be that I have an exceptionally good knowledge retention because of the fact that I read books for a living.
He just liked it because it was full of pictures of butts.
My butt specifically. Let's.
No, but that
Cipher.
wasn't using it. That wasn't
That's-
using her obsession with your posterior.
Yeah, and I don't want any of that from you.
You needn't worry about that.
Good. Okay. So we're on the same page.
About that, yes.
Right.
To be fair, Mordecai's on most of the pages.
yes, he is. Not a lot of argument to that. There is there, Mordecai.
Yeah, no. She used it basically like a journal, so. Lots of straight thoughts from that woman. Kind of part of her charm.
I wish I could have met her. She seems like an interesting woman.
Very rash, much like yourself.
Well, we've survived every encounter that I've been a part of, have we not?
Well, I think
Felled
that-
every enemy that...
I mean, except for the current one, yeah. I mean,
Well-
but that's how it goes, right? You survive every encounter except for the last one.
Until you don't.
I do get the distinct feeling that we're not just dead quite yet.
Because you're not. You're just kind of like floating
Oh.
disembodied voices, but you know, that's fine.
One of the biggest hallmarks of being dead, actually, is that.
Yeah.
Yes, but how many times have we been in a situation like this before and haven't been dead?
Just once for me.
To be
I can.
to be quite honest, it's always felt a little disembodying.
Because, I mean, there was that time at the crater in Fall Fire, there was
Yeah.
that room before we fought Bambardalus.
And then there was
After we fought Bambardalus for the first time.
that too. And then there was also the point that well, I myself was subject to it when we were at the Dragon Graveyard. Myself, Celine, and Selter.
Basically, this whole like darkness thingy, I don't think it's death because we've all experienced it a few too many times.
Yes, even I, who has been with this group for all of, what, 2-3 weeks now, not including the time that we spent in literal hell.
Yeah.
That was most of the time, though. Also, when we were here before, at least we had our bodies.
I mean,
Yeah, we don't.
you could just get your bodies, you know.
I'm
You just-
gonna,
You just gotta kind of think about it.
Yeah. I'm gonna try and think about my body returning to regular human form, Cypher.
Um,
I'm gonna think real hard about it.
Is there like a body rack we can shop from? I'm gonna think really
no,
hard.
there's just genetic confetti floating around right now that you get to sort of pick and choose from and build yourself particle by particle.
Well, I'm thinking really hard about being an orc.
Okay.
Oh, it's genetic pick-a-brick.
Now, as you're doing this, you can feel a more organized presence with your bodies, though you're not manifesting, but you feel as if you are what you're thinking about. So for Bright, even though there's no floor or really other dimension, you just feel taller. You feel the tusks growing out of your bottom jaw. Professor, you take on a form familiar feeling to you.
Oh, I don't like these tusks. I'm gonna stop thinking about being an orc.
Okay. Now, do you just want to have the tusks grow back in and otherwise have your size?
No, she was just experimenting.
Okay.
She thinks about being a disembodied spirit again. Just
Yeah. So once more, I guess in a sense, your sort of mind, body, soul confetti does vaguely form a shape. Now, to you as that person, you feel the fullness of there. But Norlai, you kind of get like, you can kind of see a dimension. You can kind of see a 3D silhouette starting to form out of the nothingness. However, Bright's goes from being a big orc and then kind of all the little sparkly molecules begin to float around this darkness again.
Think about the wrong body.
I'm gonna think about being a normal tiefling. Same look, same everything. Just a normal tiefling.
Lorelai, how do you know how it works here?
I was here for a long time, basically.
Was this what it was like in the machine? Or was this before that?
It's basically what it was like in the machine, but I could hear Miss Merkuri, and she would talk to me, and but like it was mostly just this.
It's awful lonely. I'm sorry we took so long.
You guys are here now, right?
I'm still not sure on that point, but possibly.
Well, we're all present. Maybe not physical, but we're all present.
Yeah.
Don't
I
quite
can talk to you
understand.
guys now.
That's true.
Yes, and it doesn't look like you're painfully leaking lightning from every orifice.
I mean, I can just do that on command, so it's fine.
Cypher looks simultaneous. If you could see him, you can't, but you can get the feeling that he's both simultaneously curious and disgusted.
Norlai just puts her hands up and uses shocking grasp to just like make some lightning in her hands.
Sure.
You know, it's pretty easy.
Yeah, you always were pretty good with that, huh?
Mm-hmm. I got a lot of practice too, so I'm really good at it.
Practice is good. So are we stuck here?
Maybe. I don't know. Depends on how we got in.
I might have teleported us in. I don't know. I don't know how that spear,
Well-
any kind of gestures towards it, if anybody can see him. That thing going through my chest kind of hurt. That was a real son of a bitch.
Yeah. Looked like it hurt. But if you teleported us in, maybe you can teleport us out.
I mean, that's worth a try, but you can, and it's just kind of looking at his non-corporeal self. I don't have anything on me that I think I can do that with right now.
Mm. Oh.
Yeah, I don't know if I can do anything at all. Let me see if I can cast just a minor illusion. I just want tinkly bells.
Yeah. You desire tinkly bells, and tinkly bells, like it's almost as if you become the tinkly bell. Right, tinkly bell.
I mean, I had a friend like that in school, but people got us mixed up sometimes because we both had pink hair. But I wasn't her.
I mean, you know, you could try and use this as a point to try and get your body back.
Yeah. I guess. I don't know, it seems weird. Maybe because I've been a skull for so long.
Don't you want to be a
Remember-
gnome?
Remembering what it was like to have legs.
Yeah. I mean, nobody on Twitch has legs.
Oh shit, that's funny.
Now, as a quick, I'm going to address the people who are watching us roleplay and go through this. To let you peek a little bit behind the curtain, because of all of the story events, the clues, the things that have been presented to them up to this point, mechanically, the players are getting to reformat their characters as if I just gave them a blank character sheet, and here you go, make a level 15 character. Go. And so any aspect of their characters can be swapped and changed. If they took ASIs and they want a feat, they can swap that. If Bright wants to be a slightly taller or smaller gnome and nothing else changes, that's fine. If Bright wants to become a Goliath Barbarian, then we have Bright the Goliath Barbarian. And this is the in-character exploration of the fact that after everything they've gone through, whether or not the characters truly recognize what this is what is allowing them to reformat themselves after everything that they've gone through, after everything that's happened, after all the clues in the building, especially to set them up now for what is presumably going to be the final arc of the campaign. They can reformat themselves from the ground up. Blank character sheet. So you all know what's happening. And ultimately they're going to pick what they pick, but if any of you have ever said, you know what, I thought that Mordecai would make for a really awesome tabaxi. He can keep the tail, but he's just a little bit more climby and he's got the claws. I mean, you want Mordecai to be a cat boy? I won't stop you from saying it. Now, Coffee may not want Mordecai to be a cat boy, but it could happen. But yes, all aspects. Class, subclass, background, because there's many ways that we can make a lot of different backgrounds work as well, which would mean that they can shift around their skill proficiencies, or if Mordecai decided to stay a bard, if you wanted to shift your expertise, this is a mutable character sheet that you've been given. So I'm sorry, addressing them so that they have something to think about, because this is, again, kind of stepping in and out of character as we're going through this session. But yes, so you all have this mutable form. Norlai has been here, has decided that this is just who she is, and has been able to, she changed her clothing, and I don't know if anything else, as well. There's the lightning, but yeah. So she has been able to hold herself together in this chaos. If any of you are Magic players, you might remember a card called Chaos Confetti from the Unset. So that's kind of what our players are. Three of our characters are Chaos Confetti. And they're going to get to choose what becomes of them. Now, as your DM, if you don't have that decided, that's okay. We can still proceed, and you will we'll cover that. But while you're here, if there's other things you want to talk about to learn with Norlai, or if you want to try and use this interaction to have me either speak through Norlai or to cause a I don't know, like an Arcana roll to put something together, or an investigation or whatever, you can do that too. But if you're not quite sure, that's fine. We can roll the decision till next week and still have you proceed apace. So, I'm sorry, court, or the ball's back in your court. Go ahead and continue.
So just to continue on with that magic metaphor, basically, they decide to cast Neoform and then radiate. So we're all being sacrificed for a creature with a converted mana cost equal to 1 plus our current one.
But y'all got to go into the 2/2 morph state first, though, and then you can.
Yeah, we get flipped upside down by Ixodron. There we go. Yeah. So, yeah, no, I've got my form in mind. My form and what I wish to do in mind. Mine's more spells and magic items, really. But I know some people had some
spells. If you want to stick with Warlock, invocations are mutable. Magic items we'll get to. I won't necessarily take away all of your toys, but you won't manifest with magic items. You'll manifest with,
we have to buy them.
Race, class, background, height, weight, eye color, etc., etc., etc. However, if you wish to have discrete feathers, that's fine.
Mordecai's gonna think about being his normal self. His blue, kind of periwinkle skin, navy hair, swept back horns, and a fuzzy tough tail.
Does your form at all sort of, even for a moment, flicker like that old content Mordecai that was in the mirror not that long ago? That true Mordecai?
Facial hair might be a thing that he plays with a little bit, but
okay.
It ultimately goes away for a moment.
It sucks back in.
Actually, I do think there's something that'll change.
It's good that he didn't do the beard. We don't want him to turn evil.
His beard needs to be a chicken.
No.
That's a good idea. You should do facial feathers.
No.
If you want feathers instead of hair, that could be interesting. Just like on your head and the tuft on your tail.
No, he wants to look normal to himself.
given the changes and things that have gone on and everything, Cypher might be imagining a younger version of himself.
Sure. Your
Turning-
age is absolutely mutable. If you wanted to go
Turning-
back to being, having a younger body, or maybe bright, you're like, yeah, you know what? I don't mind putting on 100 years. I'm rocking the look. You could come back 100 years older. But yeah, age is mutable.
I'm pretty happy with my age.
Yeah, I think he'd get a bit younger. Back in the time before he needed glasses.
Okay. Hey,
Mordecai
yeah, you want to correct your eyesight?
Yeah.
Mordecai always liked the way that he looked. He's always been a little bit vain about it.
Are your tattoos the same, or have you decided to modify, omit, or even add to them? Because unlike the U-berries, this is this doesn't sort of be a blank reset. This is a complete, as you all are finding out by playing with the little character creation sliders of your of your soul.
There might be an additional tattoo.
Okay.
He's got a star in the center of his chest.
Okay.
He's gonna put a pair of open black wings next to it.
I like it. And it didn't even hurt. Well, emotionally.
The rest of them are the same,
Okay.
but that is specifically because Celine had black wings on her back.
All right.
Oh. That's... Oh.
If any of you want other little things, like, I don't know, you want you want a glowing tattoo, you want your eyes to spark, electricity every once in a while, things that would be like a little minor effect, like nothing worse than like part of a prestidigitation or something like that as well. You can manifest a little bit of a glow or a little supernatural other thing. Almost like the common level magic items too. You get the cape that always looks like it's billowing in the wind, even if it's on a still day. You can have your hair just kind of always look like it's kind of blowing and wavy. Just little things like that that you can add if you want. If you want that star to emit a particular glow, or if you want it to look like the black wings occasionally kind of like give a little flutter or something. Minor effects like that would be absolutely fine.
It might flutter a little bit.
Okay.
It might not be something that he consciously was aware of. But just like a little shudder in the feathers every now and again.
Okay.
I'm glad you're getting your body back, Mordecai. I don't know why it's hard for me. I can't seem to do it. I don't know why.
Do you not like the way you look?
I mean, it was just me. It was all.
I like the way you looked.
Thank you. No, I just don't. I just can't seem to do it. I don't understand why.
Do you remember what you look like?
Oh, I think
Good
so.
question.
You
mean,
did
it-
say that it's been so long for you.
It has. I think I've been dead the longest. I mean, prior to this, because we've all been dead the same amount of time this time. No, I just feel like I can't bring it back. I don't know what's wrong with me. I can do other stuff. See, I turned into an orc for a minute before. That was fun. And I could do other things. I bet I could turn into the most ordinary, boring human you've ever seen. Let me try that. I'm going to think about being the most plain, ordinary, boring human ever. So nondescript, I can't even describe it.
Okay. So you turn into a male human fighter, and level 1, and no, I'm sure among gnomes there's kind of a stereotype of of human interaction. Kind of the John Smith of humans. And yeah, you take on a you take on a human form as you would consider the most plain to be.
Can I make it go away again?
Can you not decide?
It just doesn't feel right. Does that make sense to you? I mean, I guess it feels right to you. What about you, Professor? It feels...
Well, what about just starting with your height?
I mean, I can do the height. I create an android body that's the correct height. It's just a humanoid, though.
Do you want to go back to being a gnome?
I don't know. Maybe it's...
I mean, that was your goal, to get your body back from the snatcher.
Oh, that was just because she was making me look bad. I mean, that was me she was using. I don't even know who it was. Never really got a look.
But you just said it just now. That was me.
Yeah, I suppose.
She was making you look bad because she was wearing your body.
Yeah, that's really pretty insulting when somebody does that. I don't know what's wrong. It just doesn't feel right, and it doesn't seem to be a problem for anyone else. That's what's so weird, is that it's not weird.
I suppose you can stay the way you are. Or the way you were. Skull flows around.
True, but as a flame skull, I feel like I wouldn't necessarily be accepted at parties.
Yeah, you kind of would stand out. Not that you didn't stand out before, because you were a very, very pink gnome, but...
It's true, I was maximum pink. It's a good color.
It was part of your charm, I think. I always liked it on you, so... Suppose it's your choice, though, but... I liked you as a gnome. I like you as bright. That's the important part.
Maybe that's what feels wrong. Does that make sense?
That you're not bright?
I mean, you went through the same thing when you turned into a vampire, but it never seemed to bother you very much. You didn't ever feel like on Mordecai, you were still just Mordecai. But for me, it feels like it just feels different.
Jade always tried to make it seem like I wasn't Mordecai anymore by being a vampire. I wanted to prove her wrong.
Oh. That makes a lot of sense.
I'm still me. Doesn't matter what face I wear, doesn't matter what name I wear. I'm still me. Are you still Triddle?
I haven't heard that name in a long time.
Or are you Bright?
Well, there wasn't a difference. It was all still just me.
then that's the
Is there one
important
now?
Maybe there is. Maybe there is. I guess I don't understand. How is it so easy for everyone else to just go back into being yourselves? And for me, it's so hard.
Is the
We
reason
didn't
that
have
you
our
didn't,
bodies stolen.
is the reason that you stopped going by Triddle because you left Opt?
No. Well, kinda. I mean, it all came in down to the same thing. But that's true. I mean, I did kind of change my name a little bit when I left, but it was because I was taking ownership. You know, they didn't want me there anymore. And I just felt like I needed a change. I was taking ownership of everything that they had blamed me for. You know. Besides, gnomes always have 1,000 names. If you don't pick a new name every couple of years, people think you're boring.
Do you want to pick a new name?
It has been a couple of years. It's a good idea.
Maybe that'll help.
It might.
But are you running away?
That's probably more of it. Maybe I don't know where I'm going next. Of course, I didn't really know where I was going before. I just booked a passage on the only ship. And that's
And
where
I stumbled across all of you walking to try and leave Mesomaska, and I decided to stay.
And you guys found me in a cave. Good times.
That's also the cave where I died.
Yeah,
Well,
that
you're
wasn't.
fine.
That was so long ago.
It was tough times.
I don't want to be dead anymore. I want to enjoy food.
No, food would be nice. It's been a while.
I mean, you couldn't get good gnomish food in hell anyway. So,
No, I'm pretty sure we can get better gnomish food in Mesomaska, especially in Uct.
I don't think there's any gnomish food at all anymore. That's probably part of it too.
You think they're all gone?
Could be.
It's only one way to find out. Let's to get back there somehow. Be kind of interesting to be the last gnome, but it would also be really sad to be the last one.
I don't have a choice, really. I can't bring the others back.
Well, I still think we should find Shonerith.
Yeah. He has my brother.
He might have Jade.
I think your brother's dead too.
No, he's not.
I mean, I know we keep having this disagreement over just who's dead and who's not, and usually it's not that hard to tell. I don't know why that seems to keep coming up right now, but pretty sure he's dead. Pretty sure he really wanted that,
Well,
and it was before you got.
not that I really trust Miss Merkuri, but she said he was still alive.
But I mean, we saw him. I mean, you were still alive then. I mean, for the first time. I mean, for the book. I mean, yeah, you were still alive then. And I know, like, he blew himself up. It was a whole big thing. We went and tracked him down. You remember you were there.
He didn't blow himself up. I mean, I kind of shot him into the sky, but you know, he knows how to fly, so.
If we were able to find you, Norlai, and if he's taken by Shunnerith, Jade was taken by that tree. Maybe she was taken by it too.
It's possible. I don't really know. But Miss Merkuri really didn't like Shunra. The big machine, I mean, she made it because she was trying to fight him.
Yeah, but to do what after that?
I don't know. Probably not something nice.
Knowing her enterprising nature, probably take the power for her own, among other things.
Maybe. Likely.
That also... No, I can't think of that.
Mordecai, do you still have, like... I guess you don't have anything. You don't have anything. I'm looking around. I don't seem to have anything.
What are you looking for?
Any of the things we brought with us? My spell book, my box of body goop.
No,
What about
I don't seem to have anything on me.
Yeah. I don't seem to have anything on.
No, besides Norlai, the only thing that seems to physically exist is this flaming spear tip. As you manifest yourselves, you can kind of get like a semblance of clothes, but it's you're building a form, really, is what this. It'd almost be like in the Sailor Moon Magical Girl transformation, like your bodies, you have this silhouette that's like a shifting, like a set of colors or rainbow or something. So it's your core essence. It is you can choose any part of your, any part of yourself to reduce, enlarge, put tattoos or piercings. You want 10 more teeth? Give yourself 10 more teeth. Do you want 4 ears? Is the only thing you're changing, does Bright go from blue eyes to pink eyes? Something like that, to match. Well, all right. You won't need antibiotics, hopefully, but it's this is in the storytelling of this. You're remodeling yourselves, like your body, and then we'll get to stuff like background and class. Though your body can lean into that if you want. If you want to come out and say all of my negativity manifests as scars on my body, but otherwise I'm the same. Or whatever else. But we are reforming you, even if it's from this nothingness back into mostly how you appeared before. It seems to be the route that Mordecai is taking. There's like an extra tattoo. I don't know, Mordecai, have you always wished that like your tail was like a little bit longer, or that your ears were a little rounder, or even more pointy? Like, are you doing little adjustments like that too, or...
There might be a little bit of tweaking, but not by much.
Okay.
He's generally been pretty happy with his appearance before. He's only just very sad about how his life has turned out.
Mm-hmm.
Now that spear is the only thing that's here.
I'm gonna make it blue.
Okay.
Or like cast thaumaturgy to make the spear blue.
It takes a little bit to impose that will, because this isn't just normal fire. However, you do shift it from that orange color to blue, though the intensity of the flames do not diminish or otherwise change.
Good practice.
Mordecai, you keep saying I've been acting weird.
A little bit, yeah.
Why? What have I been doing? I guess I didn't feel it happening, whatever it was.
Just little things. Little things that just seemed off. Being kind of flippant with the idea of people. They weren't, I don't know, I can't describe it exactly. It's just, he seemed to care less.
Mm.
I don't know if that's on purpose, and I guess that's weird. Have I been weird? Have we all been weird?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to figure out if I was weird before or if I was weird after.
You were always very nice. You cared about people, and I don't know. It's I mean, aside from Casimir, it seemed that you were the one likely to stay.
Yeah, I had built a good life here. Well, I built a good something. Perhaps not life.
It's
You
not too
never
late to
wanted-
stay behind if you want to go back to your residential district.
And he's tempting me.
You never
Well-
felt like there was an urge to get home? Or back to Mesomasca, at least? Is that because there might not be enough left?
I think that's a big part of it, yeah.
Are you afraid that there's not enough left?
I feel like there's a big risk that there's not.
But you won't know until you try. You won't know until you go.
But I know that there's an Oiho. Although I don't know what kind of shape it's in, given that we just blew it up. The tower was pretty far from town, and well, maybe people would be okay. And there's rebuilding to do after the pit, and there's so much to be done in Uct. No, there isn't. And I think maybe part of Oiho is, I don't know, maybe I've taken on too much of it.
I don't know. It seems like you're running away from your fears.
Not if I stay behind.
You're afraid to go back to Uck. You're afraid to find that everything that you knew there is gone.
You know, that's why I left originally. You know, if I stayed, sooner or later, everything I knew would be gone.
Is that really the case?
That's what I thought. And I'm not sure it wasn't true.
You never really went into detail about what it is that they blamed you for.
Well, I mean, we talked about it a little. I would see things that were going to happen, and then they would happen, and they were usually bad things. I mean, not always. Not always. One time I predicted that we'd find mushrooms under a tree, and we did, and that was good. But most of the time, it was people dying and things, and that's not as popular.
That wasn't your fault.
Well, the jury's out on that.
That wasn't your fault, right? You were the warning system. All the trees that were sucking up all of Faye, and the one that we found that sucked up Jade, all of that's as a result of Shonaruth. Who knows how long that thing's been there? And Octa's the closest thing.
You think that's why it doesn't happen to me here? I mean, it's here and in the Fae Cave too. I never have the visions here. And I never have them in the Fae Cave, although we can't go back there, but do you think that's why? Is it some kind of connection to Shonaruth? And his power doesn't reach here because this is controlled by Merkuri or Abby or me. Just putting that out there.
That's possible.
So if we beat Shonaruth, you think I could make them stop forever? What do you think, Professor? You know Shonaruth just as well as any of us.
I think it's possible. The whole reason that Norlai can even draw on the wild magic, it's a self-defense system, right?
For her, it is.
It's a self-defense system for the planet.
Also true.
So maybe your visions are a self-defense system for the planet.
I mean, that's putting a whole other spin on it.
It's a spin I like to think is true. I mean, why else would the four of us, or any of us, come together at all?
So you think Shonaruth wants me to stay down here to get me out of his way?
Mercury was tempting you.
But she was opposed to Shonaruth.
True.
That doesn't mean...
Getting all of us out of the way doesn't seem like a crafty thing to do.
I mean, she was kind of asking you guys to help her get rid of Shono.
Yeah, but that's
She
also...
wasn't trying to get rid of you, really.
She wasn't trying to get rid of us. Shonaruth's been trying to get rid of us.
Yeah.
Well, if it's a way that I can... If you think it's something that I have because I'm supposed to be stopping Shonaruth, who's not my best friend, by the way, even though I do have him on speed dial, but it's, I only ever call him when I butt dial him, usually.
What's a butt dial?
Celine made it a point
Well,
that everything about this is connected.
Sometimes you cast them out of your butt. Maybe that only happened to me. I don't know. I haven't really done that since I lost my body. But when that would happen, that's when I'd get Shonaruth. Otherwise, I'd get other people when I would contact them. Who knows? Maybe it wasn't even Shonaruth. Maybe it was just Mercury pretending. Now we don't even know.
Yeah. It's all a big unknown. But we have to try, right? I have to try at least. Celine asked me to.
That gives you a motivation.
Gives me focus. This way I'm not turning into a drug addicted coward.
I mean, we have lots of those in Oiho.
I don't want to be that. I want to have purpose.
He could make you the chief drug addicted coward.
I tried that. Nearly overdosed on Lucifer several times. But it didn't happen. I didn't die. Not then. Something would always happen to make it stop.
Arlai, do you know where you're gonna go when we get, if we get back?
Well, I need to go find Yori and Mordecai and Grayson and Mordecai. What did he do with Fenry?
I had to give him away.
Pretty good chance that
You left him there. I know what happened.
Norlai, I thought you were dead.
She just abandoned my dog. He's a good dog. And you just left him there.
I
didn't
can't
want
help
the
but feel I'm
reminder.
missing some context here.
I mean, it's funny that this keeps coming up, but Norlai wants to find a bunch of things that are all dead. Again. Except this time it's Mordecai and Grayson, who I'm pretty sure are dead. Although, I mean,
Fairly certain about it too, because
Norlai doesn't.
Haver's tower exploded.
Yes, that was a thing that happened. So, the chances of them surviving an explosion of that magnitude, highly
You know what
unlikely.
happens when you guys assume things? Make an ass out of you and me. You guys are always assuming things.
Oh man, Norlai is. Are
Spicy.
you sure you're not the same girl coming out of this as you were going in, Norlai? You said
Norlai's
ass.
a lot grumpier than she used to be.
Yeah.
Look, people
sorry.
don't just expect other people to come back to life, okay?
I thought you were gone for good. You were bones.
Crystal bones. I saw them.
I chewed on them.
Well, that still doesn't mean you can just abandon my dog. You know, I would expect my friends to take care of my pets if I were to die, which I didn't die. But, you know, you thought I did, so you should have took care of my pets.
That's a...
I mean, what kind of friends are you?
I'm going to stop you right there. What kind of friend are you?
I mean, if they had pets and they died, I would take care of their pets.
And if for some reason you could not, for say, going to save another friend from the literal depths of hell?
He didn't have to leave Henry in hell.
You didn't leave Fenrir.
He do that. He did leave Fenry in hell. I know exactly where you left him. You guys went to the pit, and you left him in hell.
I did do that.
Oh. Cypher looks to Mordecai. Why did you do that? You could have left anything else behind, and you decided to leave the one thing that would piss the little girl off.
I mean, to be fair, she was dead at the time.
Yeah, I mean, that is
Take care of
fair.
No, she's right. I kept Celine's things.
Also dead. Just pointing out.
He kept
Yes.
that. That's my point.
Well, maybe he was being a little selfish. Which, operator here, not always a bad thing.
not always a bad.
Yes.
Only a bad thing when it's the primary focus.
I'm gonna ask you something. Norelai, was it? Did your dog have a working knowledge of planar cosmology?
You could talk.
How about the nature of undead? Did he have a working knowledge of the nature of undead?
No, I haven't asked him. Have you asked him?
I didn't even know he existed until 5 minutes ago.
He knew a lot about the Shadowheart.
To be fair, I didn't know that. I know a lot about the Shadowheart.
So did the dog. Fenry knew a lot. There was this one time where we encountered a bunch of Shadowheart guys, and Fenry talked to them for a long time. They gave me cookies.
Look, what's done is done.
That doesn't mean I can't be upset about it.
Objectively,
I am sorry.
That book was more important to the mission at hand.
I'm not saying that you had to give up the book. I'm just saying you didn't have to leave Fenry in hell.
I was giving things that would proportionately mean something in order to get Jaden back. And Jaden was alive. And I thought you were dead. Can't blame me, Norelai, for wanting to move on.
Just want to hear things.
Kind of wish that that's something that I could have said to that woman who was disguised as Corinna. Can't blame me for moving on. I can't blame me for moving on. But we're here now. You're here now, which is more important than that dog.
I think
Way
Fenry's
more
important.
We lost Jaden.
Well, I didn't really know Jaden.
Jacob. Was Jacob.
Yeah, I know who Jaden is, but like, I didn't know them. I never really got to talk to him. You know, there were cops, so I didn't really want to talk to him.
Jade tasked us with keeping her brother safe. Because she couldn't anymore. And now Jacob's gone. And we have you here now. So maybe we can go and get Jacob back. Maybe we can go get Jade back. Maybe we can go get Loki back.
Just
Maybe.
again, all of those people are dead.
You assume that, but Norelai's here, right?
I mean,
It does seem. As I know you are a woman of a deep intellect, right? It would seem, however, that death in this case is nowhere near as permanent as we once thought that it was.
And who knows? Maybe even Celine's out there. I don't know.
Well, Celine, actually died and is, took her pulse and everything. The other people, you're really just assuming.
I mean, to be fair,
Yeah.
I really felt a pulse from you both before you were dead. Well, I guess we never technically.
Trying not to be too optimistic about it because that's just going to break my heart again. More continually. I'm trying not to get my hopes up. The only hope that I have is that one day I'll see her again. But we were talking about Bright, not me.
Oh, I forgot.
That's called deflecting.
Yes, on purpose, Professor.
Oh no, I mean, how we got off Bright in the first place.
Oh,
Right, so... if you really don't want to be a gnome anymore, that's fine. You can be whatever you want.
You could be a tiefling, I guess.
But do what feels right. Don't do
Like
what feels
you two.
wrong.
It'd be pink, too. There's lots of pink tieflings.
I mean, it's true. Pink is a good color for tieflings. I don't think I would want to do that. I don't think I would want to carry that with me. I think if I'm gonna leave Oiho, I'm gonna leave it behind. I wouldn't want to be a tiefling. Nothing against you two, of course.
You could be a sand elf and talk funny like Casimir did.
I don't know if I can do the accent and the voice at the same time. I'd have to practice.
Just do what feels right.
Hey, you could always manifest with a gnome vocal cord in an elven body.
That's one of those situations where I feel like I might not be accepted at parties.
You look like a sand elf, but you talk like a gnome.
Especially when you start going off on some gnomish words.
It's true. I would still have to bring gnomish words into the conversation. All right.
Like Fibblethip.
Like Fibblethip. Magic reference for those of you who...
Mordecai's right. If I was... I don't want to say chosen, because there may not have been any intelligence behind it. But if I acquired my abilities to use them somehow, which we never have figured out, but use them somehow to help stop Shonrud. And look how long it took us to figure out how to use Norali's abilities, and there's so much more. You know,
The wild
zappy.
magic is pretty potent against the Shonrud stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, Dragon did teach me how to use them, so...
So if we know...
I didn't
Yep.
know he was Dragon, though. That was surprising.
Can't use them down here. It's sad, I accomplished so much down here, and we're gonna have to leave it behind and go to a place where all I've ever accomplished is, you know, a lot of unfinished business in the world above. Or I guess the maybe it's right outside. I'm not sure.
It may be unfinished business, but it's about the journey, isn't it? And
Maybe.
you can't finish business if you don't go where you finish business. Oiho's kind of finished business, isn't it? You did what you set out to do there.
I guess I did. I hate to leave it behind, though. But
That's up to you. We could really use your help.
I wish there was a way I could take a look and see what sort of shape it's in. That
Right now, there's what you see. If you want to
Yeah.
go back, you can go back. There
Then I
does feel like there is a direction you can go, despite this place being a directionless void, or even several, because there is that I want to go back draw, or there's I want to go forward draw.
Even coming all the way to hell, I don't feel like I did what I was supposed to. I went with the intention of finding Van Bartolus and Glenn and Gary and Jaden and bringing them all home. That didn't happen.
well, we did find them.
We found them. We didn't bring them
That's
home.
half of it.
Not
I
everything
think-
gets finished.
I think Van Bartolus would have been happy, though, with the way things finished up. He might not have survived. Again, all these people are dead. But
I hope at least he can rest in peace at some point.
alright.
That's what I would wish for him most of all. Is that if he does, and did, die, that he'd rest knowing that he was part of something. And who knows, he might have even been able to escape to a paradise or something. Who knows?
You know, that was always something that I thought I would see when I was dead. Not necessarily a paradise, only if I did well. But we've talked about what happens to gnomes after they die, and when we go to, usually to buy token, you know?
You go to the gnomish afterlife.
Right, where, you know, it's a lot like the regular life. We're pretty happy as a rule. Except if you were bad, you could live upside down.
Unfortunately, it seems to be a little bit of the right side up in Uct right now, so.
It's called Australia. It's where they send you if you weren't good in your life. Okay, so in front of you, you just see like a little whirl, and then there's like a twirl of pink, and then you see me like doing a spin, or like a pirouette.
Mm-hmm.
It's just me. Just a regular bright. I might be slightly younger, you can't tell. Thumbs down age rifle.
No one knows you're actually 30 years younger, but you do, and that's what counts. So are you wish to resume looking like you did before?
Yeah, I'll just be regular bright, but I might change the subclass again. We'll find out.
Okay, yep. I don't know. Do you want like even longer hair? Like, are you actually just like 75, but you want the hair of a 200-year-old?
How many floofs do you have?
There's 2 floofs. 2 is the standard number of floofs. I am bringing back both floofs, by the way.
Yes, that's.
Bright must have all of her hair because, goddamn, she needs her pigtails. Even though the one-sided ponytail was actually kind of cute.
It worked a lot better with my headset too.
Nothing stopping her from styling it that way.
It's true. I'll have to come up with a way. All right.
So we see, I mean, Noralai has already manifested and appears to be quite happy and confident in who and what she is. In a sense, she's almost like the model, the figure for you all to follow. Coffee Cat comes back, with a couple maybe more cosmetic things, something a little bit different here or there, but pretty much you're a periwinkle boy, and you got the swooping horns and everything. And then Professor Cypherius, you are shedding your spectator form and all the gifts it has given you, and you wish to return back to a slightly more youthful looking you.
That is correct.
Are you doing anything like changing hair color or eye color? Do you want to be taller? Do you want like a really like a Riker beard or something? Or do you want, I don't know, like a third eye because it's cool?
The gray is gone.
Okay.
And so are the glasses. And the beard would be cut down quite a bit.
Okay.
Baby face Cypher.
Did he have facial hair? No, he didn't. That's right.
I always drew him with a little stubble.
Yeah, I think some
Yeah,
stubbles.
so he doesn't even have the stubble right now.
Okay.
He's like clean.
19-year-old Cypher. Turn him into a baby.
You can see like in the sharpness of his features that he's a little older than 19. So you'd seem like 25-ish.
Bright, would you like to remain a forest gnome, or do you want to take a walk in the wild side and maybe go rock gnome, or dare I say a deep gnome?
I actually did think about deep gnome. I think it might almost be kind of appropriate, but I do not have my PHB right in front of me. So I don't know that I'm qualified to stat that up right now. But I might think about that for next week.
Okay. But you generally have a gnomish shape and or size.
For sure. And I mean, deep gnomes aren't as colorful, so we would have to figure that out. But yeah, just something. I mean,
she's still very pink, regardless of her gnome type.
Yeah, you could be pink. Heck, you could get a minor, like a benefit. You could be ultraviolet, so you might look dark, but you're also bright, and you actually light up things in fantastic ways as you walk past, if you wanted to. If you want,
only
you're dark bright.
That would be fun. We'll save that for if I turn evil again. It could happen. It keeps happening.
All right. So what will happen is we have a basis. I'm not holding you to this in case you do want to lock in next week as something different, but we're going to say that these particles have been sort of accumulating and forming. Noralai, you are able to stabilize their pattern. With your understanding of these chaotic energies, directed through your lightning, you can almost, it would almost look like the Ghostbusters trying to capture a ghost as this energy pours off of you and ends up encapsulating and surrounding these shapes of these beings that at used to be, are, and will into the future be these three people here, but you're able to hold them together in this more realized, but still, you all still feel mutable inside your sort of static shape. I mean, in a sense, it's static because it's not motion. You have motion inside you, but you're being held in a particular shape. But that might be able to be tweaked a little bit here. And then what we're going to do is, why don't we get up? I need to take a personal break. When we come back, we can proceed forward in character a bit, and then we can talk out of character stuff, because I will be dropping some info on you, and then of course we have a little bit of shopping to do, and you all can very much, I mean, anytime you can discuss it, but if you want to bring the others in here, say, okay, well, you know, I was thinking about this build, you know, what do you think of that, and spells and other things like that, we can move into more of the, you know, what's the final shape that you take as your form is cooling off, from this point. But before I get up and go fully, I am going to turn the recording off. So if any of you watch this on YouTube in the future, hi from the past. But I'm going to play something that it's probably copyright. It might be a VOD silence for that moment, but it's something that I feel is very appropriate for what has happened and what is going to happen. What I will do is send a link. I'm going to put a link in chat for you all, so you can go to this YouTube video. The lyrics are there if you want to read along. If you just want to close your eyes and listen, you may do that as well.
I think you can throw a link in the super secret chat room too.
I can, yes. And so what I will do is, let's go to... Okay, whoo. Let's go to our break screen, and I am going to share this song. I'm going to play it over the desktop audio instead of the normal song for you all. And I will even juxtapose it with that same intro animation, because it may work there. And what I would like you to do is, while this is playing, and maybe you're following along the lyrics, or you're enjoying the music, or both, even if you're not familiar with the character, I'd like you to imagine this being sung by Lethality Complex's former character, Celine. Okay? So I'm going to put the link here, and then I'm going to play this in the background for you all. And I hope that you can enjoy this interesting musical moment, as it might tie together 2+ years of content and see where it propels the party into the future. So I'm going to mute my mic, everyone, and I'm going to hit play and let you listen to this song. And here we go.